Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Would please, at the very bottom of your screen, click on the chat box and add who you are, what your business is, and why you're here today. Also, a little quick point. I do tend to run just a hair over my time. This is normally an hour session, but I do tend to run a little bit over. So if you do need to leave early because you need to keep to that hour, also let Katrina know so that she can catch you up on anything, or I can catch you up later on anything that you missed, because I do run a little bit of a bonus segment at the very end. My mouse is being a little squirrely. Okay. Let's see, and Eric and Sandra, you guys work together. Welcome. Let's see what time it is. It's 8.
It's just a few minutes after 8, Sam, and we've got just about everybody here that we're expecting.
We do. Wonderful.
Go ahead and get
Welcome,
started.
everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started.
Okay. Thanks for being here. My name is Katrina Boyer, and I'm the training coordinator with the Small Business Development Center here in North Idaho. And we're excited to have you here today. So we're going to talk about accelerating your business online. This is Sam Dascomb. She is our e-commerce coach, and we're so thrilled to have an e-commerce specialist coach. So Sam has over 15 years of experience in marketing and online environments. And for the last 8 years, she's been working with small businesses and franchise owners, creating and guiding marketing teams, while assisting owners in marketing and best practices for a digital world. Sam specializes in conversion rates, optimization, customer engagement, web design, e-commerce, and analytics. And we are super thrilled to have her and super excited to see what Sam has for us today. So Sam, I want to take that away.
Thank you. In addition to all that, I've got a couple of my clients on here today. No, I work with every aspect of e-commerce, all the way from the shipping and integration of your inventory management process, all the way through to shipping and sending out your products. So it's an entire integrated process for online management and ensuring that your e-commerce is truly holistic, and it's an e-commerce today. Well, we're going to learn ways to position your e-commerce store for profit, because if it doesn't profit, it's not helpful for you. And we want you to accelerate growth ongoingly, because that's a thriving enterprise. So you're going to gain the knowledge to cause frequent return loyal customers. You're going to be able to start, grow, and maintain your customer base. And you're going to be able to utilize tried and true tactics that improve your bottom line. So what does all that mean? Well, I'm going to tell you a little secret. It doesn't necessarily mean marketing. And that's where people usually go when they think about, well, what am I going to do? They usually go to marketing. The baseline doesn't start with marketing. That's the end result once you've created your holistic ecosystem, is marketing. But your holistic ecosystem starts with the very basics and fundamentals. So who is this really for? Your business owners, all of you, or soon to be, and you're currently working in an online store, or you're looking to build a more effective online environment, or you're a new business owner, or looking to become a new business owner, and you're looking to begin your first store, and you want to build that really strong online presence. So that's who this is for. So basically, anyone looking to be in the online environment and have a really amazing experience for both you and your customer. So the fundamentals question, and this is for all of you, everybody. What makes an online store successful? Pop it in on the chat box. I'm going to give you about 2 minutes. What makes an online store successful? Everybody has options here, and everybody could be right. Everybody could be wrong. We don't know. Let's see what you got. Profitability. Most definitely. That's the proof of the pudding, right? Having something to market that people want. That is true. That's very true. Having a niche that's marketable, yes. Speaking the customer's language, that's a good one. Quality over quantity. Yes, yes. Customer service, most definitely. Ease of use, very much so, John, very much so. Okay, what do we think? Do we think anybody here has got the one answer? What do you think? Okay, let's take a look. Let's take a look. Well, guess what? Everyone was right. They're customer centric. They're all about the customer. Customer, 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 customer. Because the old adage is super, super true. The customer is always right. And it's not about them knowing everything. It's about them being the person that your business is all about. You're serving them. You're getting them what they need. You're answering their questions. You're solving their problems. It's about them. So how do we create that? Well, here's the hot 10. You're going to create a well-designed website. We talked about that, or somebody mentioned that one, right? You have an easy checkout process. Ooh, somebody mentioned that one, right? We're going to have competitive shipping options. Competitive. That doesn't mean the best. That doesn't mean the cheapest. It doesn't mean any of that. It means it's competitive. It's right there in the marketplace. Multiple payment options. Okay. Good images, product descriptions. Ooh, somebody mentioned that too, right? It's mobile friendly. Mobile friendly. Okay. Good customer support. Somebody mentioned that one too, right? Multi-channel storefronts. Calls to action, and then offer special promotions. So let's take a look real quick. What does this all do? They all grow customer base and they develop customer loyalty. This is huge. So let's start at the very beginning. What is a well-designed website? Let's break this down a bit. What it does is it reduces the number of menu items down to about 5 items or less. So this is that item across the top or in that little hamburger section. 5 items. You use a search tool, that little magnifying glass, to help keep things organized and easily findable. You want to make sure you reduce those image sizes and use a platform with a CDN. So it's a CDN. That is a content delivery network that helps make all of those images and content pieces appear quickly between wherever that server is that everything's stored on and the actual user. So it bridges the gap and makes it pop up really fast. Speed is important. We want it super fast to appear. So the CDN makes it faster. So the dangers and the pitfalls of not doing this is you have poor organization on your site and a really slow load time. These are bad for business. So consideration. An e-commerce site is making $100,000 per day. A 1 second page delay can potentially cost you $2.5 million in lost sales each year. That's staggering. Staggering. So this is very, very important. Ensuring that your site is well organized, fast, and easy to navigate for your customer is one of the most important aspects of your on-site experience for your customers. Katrina, can you address the chat? So here's an example. Now, this is one of my current clients, Mountain Madness Soap. They're going to get picked on quite a bit because they've given me authorization to use them as a site. They're ongoingly working on their website, and I won't get to use them here soon because they're going to be redesigning their site over the next 6 months. But you'll notice that this is a very clean design. The very first thing you experience when you go to this website is their popular collections. We will actually go to this website later today and we'll see what these show up as. But there's the most popular collections are here. And down below, you'll see that there are customer favorites. Over here is their navigation system. It is all very clean, easy to see, quick opportunities to click through for the customer. Their search engine and their login tools, very easily accessible with the shopping cart right here. Questions on that? Yes, yes, their customer service is top notch. So now let's go to the next step of this. Creating an easy checkout process. What you want to do is create, if possible, in your particular platform, because each platform has some limitations, a one-page checkout process. One-page checkout process is checkout, fill in your information, and complete. Now, things like Shopify, if you're on the lower end of the spectrum, makes you do a three-step process. The shorter the checkout process, the better. The next thing you want to do is allow guest checkout. Guest checkout means that they don't have to log in, they don't have to go through a process of creating an account. We want this because this allows them to get through the checkout process fastest. And then they can become a member or a loyalty member, a program member, whatever, after they've completed their checkout process. This way, the checkout is complete, they're done. Next, you want to display all charges before checkout. So that's shipping, that's taxes, that's discounts, etc. All of that needs to be displayed before they go through the process of checkout. Otherwise, they'll get to checkout, they'll see the shipping charges, they'll see taxes added, they'll see all these things, and they'll go, wait a second, that's too much, and I'm gonna leave the checkout, and I'm not gonna complete. You also wanna remove all distractions from checkout. So the headers, the footers, the menu items, etc., because all that does is encourage people to click back and go do something else. What happens is people will get to the checkout and they'll abandon. They'll go do something else. They'll click on another page. They'll go somewhere else to compare prices. All kinds of things will occur if you can't encourage that finalization of the checkout process. And on average, 69.57% of all carts are abandoned. This is a really high rate of abandonment. On average, there is a 20 or 30% completion rate total at most stores. That's really low. So across the board, you want to improve your checkout process and reduce your cart abandonment rate as a #1 completion process for you to encourage a better customer-centric online experience. Oop. Only one click. So the next thing we want to consider is competitive shipping. First and foremost, don't compete with Amazon. Just don't. You're never going to win. Amazon will always, always, always win. They have their own trucks. They have their own packaging. They have their own everything. You cannot compete with Amazon. Free shipping is always going to win. So what do? You're going to include shipping in your marketing plan. This is a marketing tool for you. How do you create a shipping platform that works for you? You're going to realize that there are multiple options for you. You're going to look at how do you create the best shipping for yourself to get the lowest discounts. You're also going to look at what's going to work best for my customers. Customers generally think of about $5 to $10 as being the best rate for shipping outside of Amazon. Even though that's still incredibly low, and we all know the shipping rates have gone up. So you're going to look at balancing pricing and comparing it to what others in your market space are doing for pricing. You're going to also want to look at what it is that's going to encourage more people to purchase at a higher rate so that shipping rates can be brought down. You're also going to want to have a very clearly stated shipping policy, especially considering now shipping has gotten very loose and very erratic. Clearly state what is working for your business with regard to shipping policies. You're also going to want to make sure that your costs for shipping items is kept low. So that's all packaging materials. Find discount dealers, find alternate dealers, and find backup resources when something is unable to be purchased at its original source. And ensure that you always have a steady supply, because the second you don't have a supply, that's when things get hard and get more expensive for you. And finally, ensure that the customer is always made aware of shipping changes as soon as you need to make them, because this is where you will lose customers due to shipping costs and delays. If you make changes in shipping, they will disappear. If it's only temporary, they will still disappear. I have one client who we had to make a change in shipping, a drastic one. And due to that, they lost 10% of their customers, their loyal customers, for about 6 months. And then they returned because they realized that everyone was doing that in the industry. But across the board, you need to be very communicative about what's going on in your shipping world for your customers to ensure that they are ongoingly loyal to you, as well as you're able to grow that customer base and be competitive in your market. So an example, Mountain Madness soap. Here, you'll note that all the shipping information is here. And they even note that the order qualifies for free shipping at a certain level, and it automatically applies. And up at the very top, they even have a notation for orders over 75 are free. Now, this works in their marketing plan. It won't necessarily work in yours. You'll want to look at what works for you and how to make it work. Here's a little blow up of this section. And this actually includes some of the information about how to keep information right at the forefront for your customers with regard to checkout. Excuse me a second. So with regard to multiple payment options, there are so many ways to take payments online. And just about every platform offers you the option to add on various different versions of payment processing. They all will accept credit cards and debit cards. They all will connect in with PayPal. Some of them will allow you to do Apple Pay and Google Pay and Amazon Pay. And some are now even integrating with things like Venmo and a few others of the social pay functions. They do cash on delivery. They have the functionality to integrate with the buy now, pay later options like Shop Pay. And many of them are now integrating with Bitcoin. In addition, he's on the phone, so we'll include this. Some people have even taken gold and silver for payment options. It has to work for you and your industry. So make it work. Make sure that your customers are really in alignment with the payment options so that you don't lose out on potential customers, and make that available in your statements, your legal statements on your website. If you don't have the options that are available for your particular customer base, you're going to lose out, because that's what they're looking for. If you have customers who are very accustomed to using Venmo and you're in the beauty industry, you're going to be losing out opportunity. If you have customers that are very used to dealing in cash on delivery, you're going to lose out. So make sure that your payment options are in alignment with who your customer base is. Here's an example of an express checkout option. So they have the Shop Pay, which is your buy now, pay later. They have Amazon Pay, which allows you to log in using your Amazon account and pay using your Amazon account. So whatever card you have associated with Amazon. Then there's the PayPal, which would use your PayPal account to pay. and Google Pay, which you would use the cards associated with your Google Wallet account. And these have all of your information stored, and it never then processes through, in this situation, the Shopify account servers. Oop, double clicked. So the next thing we want to talk about is the good images and product descriptions. So 20% of unsuccessful product purchases are due to a lack of product information. And what that really means is that the customer didn't really understand what it was they were looking at. When you're in an online environment, your customer can't touch it, they can't smell it, they can't experience the product like they do at a retail location. So they have a harder time imagining that product in their life. So the product imagery and the product descriptions need to do that for them. So you want to either hire a photographer, purchase high quality imagery, or find a way to really capture those images in a high quality way such that they speak for you, and put that customer in a situation where they can really see that product well and can imagine holding it themselves. Then you want to use words that describe the product in a way where the customer can imagine it. Imagine touching it, imagine tasting it, imagine wearing it, imagine feeling it, whatever it is that that product is related to, they can imagine it in their life. You're also going to want to use SEO keywords in your descriptions so that they're easily searchable and they pull when people do searches in Google. If you don't do this, the customer is not going to have a really good impression of it, and they can't relate to the product in the same way. So an example, not a client. This is a chocolate company, but in this way, you can actually imagine tasting the chocolate. I really love using chocolate as a describer here because you can actually imagine it in your mouth. Our butterscotch chocolate is made from sun-dried cocoa chocolate, softened by crunchy, sweet butterscotch from Yorkshire. Using those types of words, you can actually kind of feel it in your mouth. And that's the imagery that you're left with. So you want to actually taste it because you're imagining tasting it using these words. You want to have the same experience with whatever product it is that you're serving. So obviously a t-shirt, you don't want to imagine tasting it. You want to imagine wearing it. So it'd be like the softest cotton. In describing that in a way that you can imagine putting it on, that it just like slides over your skin so that you can really get a picture of what that's like. Obviously, we're in a very mobile friendly world. I may be doing the webinar here, but I still got this sitting next to me, keeping me aware of my time and everything that's going on. So what you want to do is ensure that your mobile, that your site and everything is using a theme that is mobile optimized. If you're not using a theme of some sort, you want to hire a designer to optimize your site for you. That can cost a little bit. I generally recommend that you use a theme of some sort, whether that be using WordPress or Shopify or any one of the pre-done themes that are out there for any platform. They make your life much easier and they help keep you within preset design limitations. And you also want to ensure that your site is very clean, easy to read, super clickable and accessible on your mobile device. Things that work here don't work here because you need to be able to use your phone to click on buttons. So you want to make sure that it works. So you need to do testing and make sure that it transfers really well. The issues with it are that more than 50% of all searches start right here. And knowing that the majority of people start their searches here, you want to make sure that when they search here, they find you and they can navigate your website well, see what they're looking for, discover it and even potentially make their purchase right here, because ultimately this is where they are. This is going everywhere with them. You want this to work. The desktop versions now take a second fiddle. So we're going to take a look at the Mountain Madness soap site one more time. We saw the desktop version. This is a quick screenshot of the web version. If you click on the QR code here, you can actually see the web version on your phone and scroll through how it is altered on your own device, because it will expand and contract a little bit depending on your own personal device. And you'll also be able to see if you have a tablet, what it looks like on a tablet. But this, you can scroll through and see the different arrangements and how they interact and play with it. But you can see much of the top has been reduced to only the most important pieces of information. This has been rearranged, and you see the text is now available. It's not reliant on a scroll over activity. Oh, I went backwards. Let's go forward. Customer support, huge, huge issue in web and being online. You need to be able to follow up with people. You need to be able to answer questions quickly. You need to be able to give your clients support in a way that they expect. So how do you do that? One of the first and easiest methods is creating a self-help database or an FAQ section. This is the first level of support that most people create, is an FAQ section. Next level that people go is to create how-tos. This can be in the form of a guide or a manual or videos to help people with whatever issues that they have. Next, you can create a support email or phone numbers to contact when they have issues or questions. The last thing is always return emails and calls for assistance and complaints. This is the section that people fall apart on, is not following through on emails and calls when issues arise. And it's a simple situation. Even if you have already finalized the problem, they sent in a product and you've returned it. If you have not replied to their email or replied to their phone call, this is still an outstanding complaint or assistance request that has not been finalized. They need to hear from you. And that closes the loop on customer support for them. And this creates a long-lasting customer loyalty situation. You have to do this. And it does take time, but it is the most important aspect of ensuring a long-time customer. Even if you cannot do what they need to do, you are reaching out to them and ensuring that you're trying to solve the problem. Or even if you're recommending they go somewhere else, you are trying to solve the problem, and this goes a long way. And what they do if they cannot get answers from you is they go somewhere else. And this is not the situation you want. You want them to come back to you. Now, if you're in a situation where you do want that client to go somewhere else, don't reply to them, don't give them answers or anything like that. But that's not the situation you want in these cases. So here's an example of a basic FAQ section on a website. And each one of these will open up and give you an answer to their question. And this is specifically their support page. At the very bottom, they also have contact email for support. They do not have a phone number for their support. So they're functioning at about a level 1 and a level 2 for support. They do not have a manual here that you can get a manual. And you can go off on their YouTube site and see videos, but they do not have an audio version of any contact that you can use. And they are actually pretty good about their customer support. It takes them a couple of days, but they get back to you. So the next one, this one is much newer. to creating a holistic ecosystem for your online environment. This is multi-channel storefronts or omni-channel selling. So what this means is is not just having the one direct-to-consumer location. You want to have multi-locations to connect to your customer. And that means selling potentially on Amazon or Etsy or eBay or Walmart or any other location where your ideal customer would potentially find you. And those locations end up being a funnel back to your primary direct-to-consumer location. And all of them connect together and create sort of a hub. Shopify is a common place for this, where Shopify is your primary location and everything kind of connects into Shopify so that you can manage your inventory all kind of in one location. So not being able to do all that means that you're losing out on a potential net profit because you're now not reaching out to where your customers are in all these other locations. So if you've got a huge potential customer base on Facebook and you're not selling on Facebook Marketplace or making your awareness known on Facebook, then there's this huge missing over on Facebook that you're not tapping into. Same thing with Etsy, same thing with eBay. It just depends on where your specific customer base is. So this is a huge aspect of it that's much newer to the e-commerce front than majority of the rest of these are. So this is what one looks like. So Mountain Madness has current locations on, let's see, we have Etsy over here on the left. We have Facebook Marketplace here in the middle. And then over here on the right, we have, I believe this is Instagram on the right. So these are all different options for how to sell. Oh no, that may be shop. So options are like Etsy, Shop, Facebook, Amazon, Google, Instagram, Pinterest. I mean, there's such a list that it's crazy. If you're interested in doing wholesaling, you can do Fair, and the list goes on and on and on. There's actually a way to link it all through the back end of Shopify, because I know, Eric, you're using Shopify. So all of the purchase, et cetera, goes into the back end of your store. Very similar to how buy buttons work. All of that information gets tied into your store so that each purchase is tracked and marked as an inventory pull. It just notices that, oh, Etsy is the one that pulled here, Shop is the one that pulled here, Facebook is the one that pulled here, and it's all linked up together with Shopify being your hub. Your primary hub, Shopify. Once that one's built, you start your next one. The simplest one to go after next is your Google Shop, because that pulls your information immediately from Shopify and makes it available through Google Shopping. Easy peasy. It lets you know if there's any issues. You can make those alterations and immediately updates the information. You just tell it to do so. That immediately has you in 2 locations, Shopify and Google. Next, if Facebook is your next ideal location for your customers, you go for Facebook. So then you have 3. Etsy is a little more complicated, so that becomes your 4th location. And you slowly build it and build it and build it until you have each one, because each one adds a new level of complication to your life. So you don't want to take on more than you can chew. It's like building habits. If you take on everything all at once, you're going to drop every single ball. And you're not going to do anything. So you start with the easiest one first. So you build gradually, right? Until you get used to the new level of additional workload. So you start with the basic and you continue to build until you've reached your full ecosphere situation that you want to attain. That may be 12, that may be 4. It depends on your individual situation. Fair is a really cool one. There's an app for that one too that you add on, and it
Right.
pulls all of your information right from Shopify really wonderfully. And there's actually a little plugin that will give you a page for people to click through from your Shopify store into your Fair store. Build in Shopify, yeah. So we start the build in Shopify and connect it that way. Now, okay, awesome. And yes, I will be hanging out afterwards for questions. Okay, so next we want to make sure that we have calls to action.
No,
So what specifically is a call to action? It's the request for your customer to do something. So it can be a read this or request emails. These are all calls to action. They are an invitation to buy in to whatever it is you're offering. There are calls to action that are your micro level of opportunity, and then they're your macro level of opportunity. Obviously, we all want them to buy now. That's the big one, right? That's the one where we hear cha-ching in our bank accounts. But that's not necessarily the answer for every customer. Some of them need to learn more. Some of them need to find out about you. They need all of these opportunities to find out if they really want to be a part of your ecosystem. So you have to give them those opportunities, multiple opportunities, and multiple pathways to get to the buy now option. That's part of why it's called a website. It's all a big spider web of information about your organization, with the center point being buy now. All pathways lead there. You just have to give them there. Give them the opportunities. That's your blogging, that's your about you, that's your videos, that's everything is an opportunity to lead them to buy now. And obviously you want to keep your primary call to action as high up on the page as possible, because that's the one you want. You want them to do that. If they're intrigued by it, they'll keep reading until they find something that they actually want to do first. You also want to keep the language simple and direct. Don't say, find out more about blah, 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 blah on your buttons. You want to say, buy now, sign up, register now. Keep it simple. You don't do this, and you don't do this quickly within like the first 3 seconds of your website, you're going to lose them because there's nothing for them to do. They're going to get to your website and be like, what now? Okay, I'm leaving. And we don't want that. This is actually one of huge areas of issue that I see on most websites when they come to me, is they don't have their calls to action high enough up on their webpage. They're expecting their customers to scroll down before they do anything. And you don't want to waste time. Get them right then and there within the first 3 seconds. And they'll convert for you. Okay, special promotions. What the heck are special promotions? Well, they are not 50% off the whole store. They're not 10% off the whole store. They're not free shipping on everything over $75. Special promotions are given to reward loyal customers for being valuable, loyal customers. They help to maintain the value of your product or service, and they help to increase your revenue because they thank the customer for being a customer and encourage them to buy again just for being a customer. They also give opportunities to create bulk ordering opportunities for special VIPs, where you can reduce the price slightly because there's going to be such a large number ordered. The reason that you would do this is because you know right off the top of your head that the amount of orders are going to be high. You don't ever want to just off the bat reduce prices for no good reason. This is why Groupon can be an issue, because you will get new customers simply because it's discounted. They now come to you because it's lower price, not because they like your service or product, not because they think you're a great organization. You are automatically discounting your product, creating a devaluation. Not a good practice. So what this does instead is it increases the value of your product, saying, you know what, because you are an amazing loyal customer, you've been a long time VIP for us, we're giving you something special, something unique just for you being you. This opportunity is only available for a short amount of time. Please take advantage. And you're giving it to them so that they come back in bulk quantity order numbers. So Eric, in your situation, it would be like going to a trade show. In the trade show, because you're going to see bulk number orders, would get 5 or 10% discount. Or because you know a whole group of people are going to make an order, for an entire club is going to order, the entire club will get a 5% or 10% discount. But they have to place the order within a short time frame. They can't drag it out over 6 months. They've got to do it over this weekend. And then that sale disappears. Customer-centric online stores, online promos. Okay, so the ones we're typically accustomed to are 10% off your purchase. Like they pop up as an exit intent, right? They're very common. This is what we see. Well, this is what we actually want to see over here on the left. This is the membership portal options where you can get ways to earn points, and you can earn referral options, and you can earn ways to get free shipping or free product or all kinds of things. So there are all kinds of things. You can do this through upselling, threshold sales, email campaigns, but this is all directed towards your VIPs. So you really need to work on segmentation of your customers and knowing what your customers are doing and how they're interacting with you online, so that there's no question who your loyal customers are and who they aren't. And this can all be done in programs like MailChimp, Constant Contact, Klaviyo. All of these are designed to help you manage and maintain customer segmentation. Okay, are we ready for the bonus? I know we've got like 8 minutes left. Warned you, I always go over. So, okay, the big heavy dog here is analytics. Analytics. Anyone who's worked with me knows I harp on these like crazy. So what these do for you is they give you the heartbeat of your business. Your online business is online, which means that you have a unique opportunity to know the detailed ins and outs of your business in numbers. Numbers tell you the truth about what's going on, who's coming to your site, who's not coming to your site, how they function on your site, how they find you, where they leave. It's amazing. In addition to that, you're able to look at your average order value. This is such an important number. Where is that number? Is it high enough? Is it where it's supposed to be? What's your conversion rate? If it's 2%, you're doing about average. That sounds really low, but this is about average across the board for all websites. I generally try and get people up to 7 or 8% so that you're at a really high converting level. The top 10% of all websites convert at about a 15% rate. So there's a huge difference between 2% and 15%. And so we try and bridge that gap between 2% and 15%. Where are you getting people from? And the other thing that you can do here is you can notate and track all changes in marketing that are causing people to interact with your site, all in basic analytics. There are even more analytics that you can gain from doing your own analytics from your own website, tracking information and doing surveys and forms and keeping track of all of that. You can gain so much information about your clients. It's not even funny. So this is the most important piece of information that you can have and you can do to ensure a really healthy ecosystem, because this information helps you in all the previous information and ensure that you're really connecting with them and doing a good job of it. If you don't do this, you're playing a guessing game. We don't want you guessing. If you're guessing, you don't know whether anything that you're doing online is truly working. And that's a sad, scary kind of game to play. So where do we view Google Analytics? Can you see in Shopify? No, you actually have to go to Google Analytics to view Google Analytics. That's one of the sad parts about Google Analytics, but you're going to use that in conjunction with your Shopify Analytics if you're on Shopify. Every one of these sales platforms has their own version with Google Analytics. Google Analytics is free. Everyone should be using it. And if you don't know how to use the information, because there's a lot of information on there, please request some coaching. We'll help you. You'll probably be working with me. And we'll help you find out what those numbers mean so that we can make adjustments in your site or adjustments in how you're managing your store so that it truly is profitable for you. Because that's what you want, is a profitable, thriving business that does the things that you want for your customer. And those numbers tell you if you're making that happen. So let's take a quick peek. This is what an e-commerce section of Google Analytics looks like. Note here, we have revenue. And here we have conversion rate. And we have breakdowns down below. Revenue number, conversion rate, total transactions, average order number, average order value for the entire month of October. This can be changed. You can also see the breakdown of marketing information, coupon code usage, and any affiliate usage. You can see down below, not on this, but you'll also be able to see below that there is which product is the most popular and how much revenue it generated. So this is a very, very robust tool. Over here on the left, there's opportunities to see shopping behavior, checkout behavior, sales performance. It's really a very robust tool to use. And it's very important in being able to track the health of your business. Okay, so please make sure that you're using this. So I've hit the end. I'm going to first, before we conclude, ask if there are any questions about this portion. All right. Okay. So, obviously we went through a lot today, and there's a lot of things that we can do with your business to build a really healthy e-commerce platform that is both profitable, enjoyable for you, and enjoyable for your customers. So how we do that, obviously, is I teach you through webinars, but I also do that through one-on-one coaching. And the one-on-one coaching is free to you as well. In order to do that, their opportunity is through nisbdc.com. There's a link up at the very top. Click on that and you can request coaching specifically for your e-commerce business. And if you would like to take that opportunity, please do so. Otherwise, if you have some just quick questions, feel free to email me. My email address is sadascomb@nic.edu. We will be posting up new blogs this year. So that's something that we're taking on for the year on both e-commerce and other business related topics. If you have questions specifically on marketing, we have 2 classes coming up. One is on Friday, this Friday, the 7th, and we have one on digital marketing on the 28th. I highly recommend both of those courses for people who have online stores or are looking to be online. They are both incredibly valuable courses. Thank you for that, Katrina.
Sure.
But yes, I highly recommend both of those for online stores because they help bring in your clients once you've got that really strong ecosystem occurring. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you so much.